Howdy race fans, welcome to my little show about racing I like to call In the Pits with me, StockCar Scott. Each Wednesday here on the YouTube during racing season when I feel like it. Well, racing got started early last week with the F1 practice at Monaco Thursday morning before I could even get up. I heard later that Max Verstappen, that kid that won a couple of weeks ago, stuck his Red Bull car right on into the Armco. When I did get up, NASCAR had practice for Sprint Cup and Xfinity, then qualifying for Sprint Cup. The pole for the Coca-Cola 600 for Sunday was earned by Martin Truex Jr. in the Furniture Row Racing Bass Pro Shops Camry. Dale Earnhardt Jr., my favorite, didn't even get out of first round qualifying with the 25th. And Joker Logano was second there on the front row. Nothing really happened Friday for either NASCAR or F1. Racing got going again early Saturday with Daniel Ricciardo taking the pole at Monte Carlo in qualifying, and I guess I should call it Monaco because Monte Carlo is only part of Monaco. Hamilton was third despite his mechanical problems that he had in the third round, and third was where he started in 2008 when Hamilton won the Grand Prix there at Monaco. And his teammate, was second. Okay, in Xfinity qualifying for the Saturday race at Charlotte, Joe Gibbs Racing ruled with a 1-2-3 in that qualifying with old phenom Eric Jones in the GameStop number 20 Camry on the pole next to his teammate in the number 19 Daniel Suarez in a Eris Camry, followed by little Denny Hamlin in the number 18 Camry, getting him a little lap time there at Charlotte. Afterwards came another Sprint Cup practice with Martin Truex Jr. fastest overall. See a pattern developing here, folks? The Xfinity Hisense 300 was the next with the old phenom Eric Jones having trouble in his in the last couple of laps of the race, and Cup regulars taking advantage there. Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and of course the Joker were basically putting on the show. Now, a dominant Hamlin won the race with fresh tires on the last restart. Yeah, the problem that Phenom had there brought out the caution that basically allowed Hamlin to win, which was really nice for his sponsor because they also sponsored the 300-mile race. So I hope that they feel that they got their money's worth. I know that I'm not going to go right out and get a Hisense TV because of it, but maybe somebody will. The next Xfinity race is the series debut this weekend at Pocono. That's right, folks. The Busch Series, Nationwide Series, Xfinity Series, in all its incarnations has never been to the tricky triangle of Pocono, so that should be fun. After the Xfinity race, I spent the evening basically talking myself out of going to Evergreen for the Galloway 150. All of the local divisions eventually did run in the rain, with Nat Barber pulling off a fabulous fourth mini stock feature win. I just wish that he and his three crew members had a nicer way to photographically display four. Unfortunately, the 150 lap super late model event, the Galloway 150, did not happen because the rain just never let up. Rain also canceled all Saturday night racing at South Sound Speedway. Sunday weather was much better, so South Sound raced 4 divisions, with Chris Brannon winning the Bumblebee Main, Dwayne DeYoung winning the Mini Stock feature race, Marshall Hallett winning the Hobby Stock feature, and Cody Erskine winning the Limited Late Model feature. Sounds like they had a whole lot of fun down there. West Coast Late Model Series rookies Mike Brooks and Max Schroeder were both there to get in some extra laps on a track that is similar to the next track on the West Coast Late Model Series schedule. And that race is coming up this Saturday at Hermiston's Super Oval. Now, unfortunately, later I read that on Facebook that Max would be missing from the Hermiston race for 2 different reasons. The first off is he has been fighting a pesky steering problem, and they're just going to have to overhaul whatever that is on the i5guns.com Chevrolet, and so that's going to keep them off the track. And second, a good thing, the Schroeder racing driver is graduating high school. So they'll all be back on the 18th at Yakima. Of course, on Sunday was the Memorial Day weekend marathon of racing that plumb wore me out. It started at 4 a.m. with the 79th Grand Prix of Monaco. After much talk, the race started about 5 a.m. behind the safety car because of rain. Now, per the rule, all the cars had to start on full wet tires, but many of the teams changed to intermediate wet tires as soon as they could after the safety car pulled in. But not Lewis Hamilton, who ran the full wet tires until the racing line through the streets of Monaco was mostly dry. Then the Mercedes team put Lewis Hamilton on intermediate soft slicks, while other teams put their cars on a harder choice of slicks. And the defending F1 champion was able to run a pace out front that did not use up his softer tires, while the other team's mistakes in the pits and on the track kept the field well behind Hamilton. Now, Ricciardo, who sat on the pole, but Hamilton got out front first. Now, Ricciardo did come back, and he gave Hamilton an aggressive battle there towards the end of the race, but he used up those harder tires in his effort and finished second. A surprise in third was Mexico's Sergio Perez in one of the Force India cars. Oh, and if I didn't mention, my favorite, Lewis Hamilton, won the Grand Prix of Monaco. The next Grand Prix is at Montreal on the 12th. Next on Sunday was the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500. And I wish I could truthfully say that I saw the whole thing, but until I see a replay, all I can really say is that I saw James Hinchcliffe, take the green flag, and about the last dozen laps or so, I was tired, folks, and I went right out on the couch. got too comfortable. But when I got up, like I said, I saw the last 12 laps, and it was nice to see rookie driver Alexander Rossi win, as he also continues to try to find a ride in Formula One. The next Indy League race is an event June 11th at Texas Speedway, where they go like way scary fast, folks. You watch it, but I'm telling you, they go way fast. Time for break. Thank you. The last race on Memorial Day Sunday, of course, was the 57th Coca-Cola World 600 run in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know, NASCAR's backyard. Martin Truex Jr., here it comes, stunk up the show really bad by leading 392 of 400 laps in the 600-mile race. But even with it being a blowout, it was still one of those, feel-good wins because of the backstory that's happening with Martin Truex Jr. and his girlfriend, Sherry Pollock. Happy Harvick was second, making my youngest brother feel good and putting Harvick back in the points league. My other brother, his favorite, Chase Elliott, was the best finishing rookie in 8th. And there's old Chase right there. While my wife's Biffle, right there, was the 11th place finisher. And my favorite, over here is Dale Jr. ending the evening in 14th. At least it's better where he started. But the big story was Martin Truex Jr. So I got out all of these Martin Truex Jr. die-casts here because I'm supposed to make a big to-do for my friend JJ that is a Martin Truex Jr. fan. Sorry I don't have the new car. But there you go, JJ. The next race is at Pocono this weekend, where Martin Truex Jr. won the last race they had in June there, and where my favorite Dale Jr. swept in 2014, and where it will probably rain. But I don't care because my wife and I are going to sunny Hermiston, to the Hermiston Super Oval, to watch the West Coast Late Model Series run their 3rd race of the season. The Monster Energy 100. Get to see my favorite West Coast Late Model Series driver, Buck Knowles Jr., and all of the rest. I really like all of the West Coast late model drivers, but you got to pick a favorite. So while I'm there, I'll have recording going on of the 2 NASCAR races, and I'll just have to catch up on that later. But the ARCA race, the series that also runs there at Pocono, runs on Friday, and if it doesn't rain, the ARCA race is usually a pretty good little race. But until then, I've really got to spend some time on my ongoing problem that I'm having with Facebook over my choice of names. I mean, really, race fans, does StockCar sound too gangsta? Does anyone think that I'm trying to catfish anybody in this scenario? Is it to evade justice? Would I be doing YouTube videos if it was? No, it is StockCar because that is easier for other race fans to remember and easier for them to find me on Facebook and YouTube. And if Facebook was set up so people with like interests can communicate, aren't they kind of defeating the purpose by deleting the page that has the name people really know me by? But of course, we all know the real reason for Facebook. It is to inundate users with advertising. Well, anyway, let me get me a drink. Don't want to go off on a rant. Well, that's enough for this week. Like I said, big race at Hermiston with the West Coast Late Model on Saturday. And I'm really looking forward to some great racing and meeting race fans from southeastern Washington and northeastern Oregon. Oh, and an update. It looks like Facebook has relented a little bit. So, for now, I can be found on Facebook as G, as in G. I wonder what happened to StockCar Scott. But anyway, as G, period, Scott Sams. But I'm trying to get this rectified and get back to being StockCar Scott, or at least StockCar Scott Sams, maybe something like that. And if you wish to support in that effort, please visit and like the new Facebook page, Give Back StockCar Scott his page. You know, maybe together we can get this thing fixed. You know, and it's not just for me, it's for the racing community around here. So remember, you know, I appreciate everyone who watches my little show about racing that I like to call In the Pits, with me, the one and only StockCar Scott. And because YouTube still allows me to be StockCar Scott, I will be back next Wednesday, same StockCar time, same StockCar channel, you know, folks, if I feel like it. Thank you very much again for watching, and I hope you come back next week. But I'm glad you watched this week, race fans. Until then.